Hey guys, Luke here, and we're here to preview round 23 of the 2015 NRL Premiership season. Now, we're not long to go left in the season. I say that every week, but this one's going to be a little bit of a shorter video, just due to the fact that I'm feeling total shit at the moment, and I'm going to try not to sniffle or anything in the mic, so I'm probably going to do this nice and quick and not drag on too much. So I'm going to start off with Cowboys and Rabbitohs. I'm going to pick the Cowboys, reason being, although they lost last week and they didn't look particularly great, and they've sort of been getting away with some games lately, I just think it was sort of the wake up they needed, and they'll be a lot more focused this week. Rabbitohs they'll probably be a lot better this week, with the inclusion of Arvao and Dylan Walker's back and all that sort of stuff. But I can't see them winning, although they really do need to win this game. But yeah, I'm going to say Cowboys 1-12. Moving on to Broncos and the Dragons. Now, this should be a really good game. Broncos obviously on a few game losing streak, lost to the Bulldogs last week. Up against Dragons, who have sort of hit back to some form. They haven't been absolutely incredible. Like, the teams they've been playing haven't been outstanding. So Broncos are another step above the teams that they've been beating. Although it will be a great test to see where they are. I am going to pick the Broncos. They're at home, and I'm not really feeling the Dragons' backline. You know, Justin Hunt hasn't played too much. Nathan Green hasn't played at all this season, I think. And yeah, I'm just not liking the wing there. So I'm going to pick Broncos, and I think Broncos they'll be itching to hit back after losing 2 in a row. So yeah, Broncos 13 plus, I reckon. Moving on to Tigers and the Knights. Tigers playing really well as of late, trying to avoid the wooden spoon. Knights I don't think can, and I think Knights just aren't good. So Tigers 13 plus, easy as that. Panthers and Warriors. This should be another interesting game due to the fact that, you know, Warriors still no Johnson, obviously. Hurrell's on the bench, it's a little bit of a weird one, but Townsend hasn't impressed me the last few weeks. Tompkins needs to step up a lot, and Panthers haven't been very good themselves, so it's a bit of a hard one to pick this one. I'm going to pick the Panthers just due to the fact that they're at home and Warriors struggle travelling, so that's just it really. That's only the reason. And we'll go 1-12 for that. Moving on to Roosters and the Eels. Now, this should be a flogging for the Roosters. Weird things have happened. Eels have come up with a few upsets, but I'm going to pick the Roosters to win pretty convincingly, 13 plus. You can even make it 20 plus possibly, depending on, you know, just how fired up Roosters are. Then we've got Raiders taking on the Seagulls, which should be a really good game. Raiders at home. This is more so a game where Seagulls have got something to play for. Raiders pretty much lost their chance for the 8 last game, although in front of the home fans they'll be wanting to put on a good performance, and a few guys be trying to retain their spots next year. Sam Williams being one of them. I thought Jack White played really good, and you know, it could have went either way, Raiders and Tigers, but Seagulls been very impressive. It's hard to tip against them, although, you know, if any team's going to beat them, be Raiders at home. I'm going to say Seagulls though, 13 plus. I think they'll run away with it. Moving on to Bulldogs and Titans. Now, this should be a straightforward one, should be a Bulldogs win, although Titans seem to have the woodenness a little bit, although I do think we did enough last week to sort of get ourselves in good enough form to come out and smack the Titans around, and Titans weren't very impressive last week. Well, they were okay for the first half, but they just lost it in the second half. So I'm going to say Bulldogs 13 plus for this one. Now, moving on to the last game of the round, it's the Sharks and the Storm. This should be a really good game, potentially game of the round, I reckon. So we've got Sharks who be in good form. Storm hit back last week, pretty good win over Titans, although it was the Titans. Yeah, Sharks just keep bringing teams down to their level, getting the wins. It's, you know, pretty scrappy wins, but that's what they're doing, and it's working for them, so why change anything? I'm not really sure. I'm not really sold on the Barber coming on off the bench, that sort of stuff. Don't need to fix that by the finals, I think, to sort of, you know, go anywhere in the finals, but for this game, I think they can definitely pull off a win here, although Storm, very strong side, and Munz is getting a lot more comfortable, as we saw last week in the fullback role, so maybe they're going to go on a bit of a charge towards the finals, who knows, but I'm going to pick the Sharks because they're at home. Anyways, that's where the video is going to end. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you leave a like, it'd be very much appreciated. Subscribe to my channel, leave a comment with your predictions, and apologies once again if I sound sick. I try not to sniffle as much as I could, so yeah, apologies for that. Anyways, make sure you subscribe, like, and follow me on Twitter at MrLukeMyT, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.